What's going on, people? I'm back in another episode of my Scotch Show. Welcome back to another movie review. Right, here's the second video. Literally, a second video. We're all surprised, aren't we? Yes, we are, definitely. But in this film, we're going to be talking about Christopher Nolan's film of The Odyssey. Now, Christopher Nolan literally smashed out the park with Oppenheimer. And I loved Oppenheimer, that was so good. But The Odyssey takes us back into the 10 years into BC in 760 to 830, and this is when he returns back from the Trojan War. So we have two sides of the story. We have Matt Damon's side, so we have Odysseus. Apologies for saying the names because they are all in Greek, and my Greek is not great. So yeah, so we have Odysseus' side, so when he returns from the Trojan War. And then we have Totemush's side, which sees what's happening back at home. Now, with Odysseus' side, they decide to take the long way home. And that decided to be a very bad idea. Because he is destined to be the only one to stay alive out of his entire crew in the ship. But yes, he has to find mellifluous monsters, so we're talking like cyclopses. We're talking about an angry witch who, if you eat the food, they turn into pigs. Yeah, a little bit disturbing, but that was back in the 8th to 7th century in BC. So, yeah, yeah, that's gonna be fun. Then they had to go through a forest and go up against men who wear very thick armour, and pretty much most of them died there. Then they went to a beachside, which all the dead lived. And yeah, Odysseus only found out that literally he was the only one supposed to stay alive. No one died in that part, but in the next part, they went through a canyon. And 7 people got eaten by a 7-headed dragon. Then after that, they went to an island to try and find food. And then, after that, they went into a storm. And then the whole crew died. And then Odysseus pretty much ended up on the seaside and meeting Calypso. So yes, that's a part of Odysseus' side. And now we have got Telemachus' side. Now, he was back at home with his mother Penelope, fighting suitors who were in their house at the time. But then you had one suitor called Anatomus, who wanted everything. He wanted the throne, he wanted the wife, he wanted everything. But the one person who was standing in his way was Telemachus, because if he would have died, he would have been, and if they would have killed the queen as well, he would have descended to be on the throne if they were married. So yeah. But Telemachus went on a quest to find where his father is. And he started with one of his old army cadets, and his name was Menelaus. He found out that Menelaus found out that Odysseus took the long way round, and Menelaus took the short route. And with that, he hadn't heard anything from Odysseus back then. So then his journey led him all the way to the suitors of the people who mourn the dead. Now, at the part of this film, this was near the end, but most of the stuff I've told you is pretty much everything I've told you already about what's happening in the film. It's quite a long film, but I'm only giving you the key parts of it. But yes, Telemachus went to the site of forgiveness and praying back then, and he found a beggar, because there were beggars outside everywhere back in those days, because it was back in the pretty much the 7th to 8th century of BC. And then both him and his father let's just remember here, Telemach, when he was at that praying site, he did not know Odysseus was with him and fighting with him. They had to fight off the suitors who were ordered by Odysseus to kill Telemach. They failed, but the only people left to survive through it were Odysseus and Telemach. Then they all went back, and then the queen, after a lot of conversation with Telemach, she decides to hold a challenge, and the person who wins the challenge will be handing her hand in marriage. She didn't know that Odysseus was dead or not. So, what she said was, for the challenge, that was all the beggars, all the suitors and everything like that. They had to complete one challenge to hand her in marriage. They will have to restring a bow, which only one person was ever going to restring, and that was Odysseus' bow. The suitors went on and on again, and they failed. And Odysseus was asked to do it by Telemach, but he said, it's impossible. No one can do it. And one of the beggars, which was Odysseus, said, I would like to have a shot. And then Odysseus said, could someone please get these beggars out of this room? And then the leader of the army of their band, which, in honesty, the leader of the guy was half blind, but he was very wise, let's just say that. He says the door stays locked until the challenge is complete. So, the beggar tried. He restringed the bow, and he fired the arrow. Then Telemach says, You're Odysseus. One of the guys died, and there was a big fight scene between Odysseus and all the suitors. Pretty much all the suitors died, except a few who surrendered. Then Telemach was given, well, back in the start of the film, Elliot Page's character gave Odysseus a little gift to give back to Anatus. So pretty much what he did was cram it down his throat and then slit it. And there was that. With Odysseus, him and Penelope were all pretty much banished because due to Zeus's law. Now I don't know much about Zeus's law in my honest opinion, but yes. So they were banished, and Telemach was the new king of that part of Greek. And then Penelope and Odysseus sailed into the sunset and went to see where else they could go. But yeah, that's say the shortest bit I can give you, because this was a 3 hour and 15-minute film. So yeah, but that was about the film. Now we're going to go into the cast, starting with Tom Holland. Right, now this guy, literally, this year, Tom Holland is insane. He wasn't much in it, like I said, because we went to one to the other. But he was fantastic. Literally, I enjoyed it so much that you can feel like he was so good in this. And it's insane. But would he get a Best Supporting Actor category? I don't know. It's going to be hard to see. There's a lot of good films coming out at the moment, which you never know. And then we go for the main character, who is Matt Damon, who plays Odysseus. He was absolutely incredible. Like, he's been in other Christopher Nolan films. And like, it's insane, to be honest, of how good he is. And I'm shocked, to be honest. Like, he's going to get a Best Supporting Actor at the Oscars. That's 100% true. Then we go in for Anne Hathaway. You don't see her much in it, but I think she'll be. But I think when she was on screen, Anne Hathaway gives her absolute best to this film. She is definitely going to be up for a Best Supporting Actress role for definite. 100%. Then we go for Robert Pattinson, who played Anitius. Now, literally, this character just says all Robert Pattinson altogether. Like, the way he acts and with the character he was playing, it was just perfect. Completely and utterly perfect. You cannot say anything else. Like, they casted that so well, and I'm happy about that. Then we have John Bernthal, who played Melicius, who was Odysseus's army mate when they were fighting against Troy back in the Trojan War days. He was good in parts, but he only had a few snippets. But the way he acted with the character, I think he was good. Then we go for Charlize Theron. He played Calypso. Now, she was very good in parts. She was handing stuff to Odysseus to let him forget stuff. And that was the lotus flower. And if I'm thinking this correctly, the lotus flower, if you eat the lotus flower, it makes you forget stuff throughout the past and throughout the future. So Odysseus was stuck with Calypso on a seaside shore for 7 to 10 years. But when she found out she was doing something wrong, she came up to it. But she was good in parts, but yeah. This film had 2 main characters to like 3 or 4 side supporting, so yeah. But this film was very big. It was long, but it didn't feel that long to me, to be honest. Then we go on to the last person who's in there, who played Athena. Now, she played the ghost of one of the princesses when they were attacking the Trojan people. And she was only in snippets as well, but she played well with that character. And that's good enough for me, to be honest. But now we're going to go for other topics in this film. Right, this film only took 3 weeks to hit $900 million at the worldwide box office. That is insane. It's insane of how good Christopher Nolan does it. And as I'm recording this video, I hope I'm correctly on this, the Odyssey has hit over $1 billion. Now, it's been out for 3 weeks. It's gone down to number 2 because of Spider-Man Brand New Day smashing records for days. But on Spider-Man's opening weekend, the Odyssey made $51 million. That is insane to me. But like, is it going to be Christopher Nolan's best paid film he's done? Like, best budgeted film? Like I've made a list here, and I will go from highest to lowest. So we've got The Dark Knight Rises, which made 1.8 billion. The Dark Knight made only just $1 billion. Oppenheimer made 975 million. Then you've got Inception, which made 836. Interstellar made 733. Dunkirk made 527. Then you had Batman Begins, which I think wasn't great in times, but yeah. That made 372. Tenet, I thought was awful, didn't understand it. That made 365. Insomnia made 114. And The Prestige made 110 million. Out of all these films, The Odyssey is now on the same par as The Dark Knight. Is it going to go past The Dark Knight Rises? Yes. I think it is. 100% it is. And I feel like this is going to be Christopher Nolan's most successful film he's done ever. And that's me being honest. If it doesn't beat Dark Knight Rises, it's been his second, and it's still a positive at the end of the day, to be honest with you. But yeah. This is going to be one of the favourites at the Oscars. This is going, in honesty, this is We're going to see how like Dune and other films do, like Dune 3 and other films. But for this though, this film is going to be probably winning Best Picture. It is absolutely stunning. The cinematography is insane. The sound was it's mind blowing. It's literally mind blowing for me, to be honest. But yeah. But like I said, this film made $900 million in 3 weeks. That was the shortest ever to make a $900 million film. But now it's been changed. I've made a small list with this of the top 5. And this is what it is. Michael, it took 47 days for it to hit 900. Super Mario Galaxy the movie took 24. Scratch that. This is when it hit $1 billion. I apologise. So Michael took 47 days to hit $1 billion. Super Mario Galaxy the movie took 24 days. Toy Story 5 took 20 days. The Odyssey at second takes 17 days. But Spider-Man Brand New Day done it in 3 days. It's insane to you. It's insane. The films which have come out have been absolutely insane and amazing, and I'm speechless, to be honest with you. But yeah, altogether though, this film has been absolutely incredible. Once I saw the trailers were absolutely insane, and the film lived up to its hype. Christopher Nolan has done it again. A lot of people want him to do a horror film. I don't know if he will do one, because he'll only do films if it's rightly he does it. I think that's what he says in an interview. But yeah, guys, I'm going to leave it there. Let's give it a rating. It's going to be a 10. Literally, it's literally the same rating I'm going to give as Spider-Man Brand New Day. Literally, this film was fantastic. And Christopher Nolan does it again. So yeah, guys, I'm going to end it here. Please leave a like, subscribe, and also share the video out as well, and please share out the channel. That'll be very nice. Thank you very much indeed. And I'll see you guys in the next video very soon. Bye.